Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel, My Great Australian Dream. It has been a lovely long weekend here in Australia. We had wonderful weather. Well, we did in Victoria anyway. I can't say for the other states. And I woke up this morning, it's Tuesday, and I was thinking, oh, I just wish I had one more day. Anyway, back to business, migration. Regional skilled visas, which is the 491 visa in New South Wales, made quite a big change. They actually expanded their occupation list to include other occupations rather than just this critical skills sectors that they were inviting before. And that's some of the best news for skilled migrants that they've had in the last 12 months. You know, when COVID hit, the skilled migration program changed a lot, and the only occupations that were being invited to apply for skilled visas in Australia were critical sectors. So, you know, nurses, doctors, some IT occupations, and that all makes sense because we were in the middle of a pandemic, so we did need more of our healthcare workers. But really exciting news for a lot of people who have been living, working and waiting in New South Wales for a change in this migration program. So today I'm just going to talk about the 491 visa in New South Wales, and I'm just going to talk about the state nomination requirements. So first of all, the 491 visa in New South Wales does work a little bit differently to other states. So for example, South Australia, Canberra, Tasmania, even Victoria, to apply for a 491 visa and state nomination, firstly, you apply for an expression of interest with Skills Select. That's where you go into the Skills Select website, you lodge in all your details and you tick 491 and you submit an application, and then it just sits there. Nothing really happens. And then you make a separate application to the state. Depending on the requirements, you apply when you meet the requirements. So previously you may have seen my videos about South Australia and Tasmania. Those requirements, once you meet them, you apply to the state of South Australia or Tasmania for that. In New South Wales, different regional cities are managed by the RDA office, which is short for Regional Development Australia. And depending on where you live, you belong to a different RDA. So for example, if you live in the city of Yamba in New South Wales, have you heard of that before? You would apply to the Northern River and a few others. I can't name them all from the top of my head. Now, depending on which RDA you belong to, you apply through them. But you have to go to that website to check out the individual requirements. Let's take, for example, if I belong to the RDA of Arana. Now, at the moment, the Arana RDA is accepting applications under Stream 1 and 2, okay? And I'll go through the different streams and requirements in a moment, but some RDAs are only accepting certain streams. So the different streams is Stream 1, you have to be living and working in New South Wales for the past 12 months. You need to have a valid skills assessment in your job, and you have to have an occupation on the occupation list. So let's go have a look at what the occupations are available in the RDA of Arana. So there are actually a lot of occupations available, and they include accountants, different engineering professionals, as well as a hotel manager. So do go and check it out to see if you qualify for that. Stream 2 is that you recently completed your studies in regional New South Wales within the last 2 years. So for example, if you studied accounting, you completed all your studies in a regional New South Wales university and you lived there while you completed your studies, then all you need is a valid skills assessment and you could apply for the 491. And Stream 3 is that you've been living outside of regional New South Wales, but you have a job offer in New South Wales. Now that stream isn't open in a lot of RDAs at the moment, so you do need to go check out your local RDA to make sure. The people who didn't qualify for Stream 1, so they didn't work for at least 12 months before they apply, they could apply for Stream 3 previously. However, yeah, do check because it's not available. For example, now in Arana, only Stream 1 and 2 is available. So again, you have to have an occupation on the occupation list. You have to have a valid skills assessment in the occupation list, and you have to have a job offer, a full-time job offer. That job offer needs to be in an office in regional New South Wales, and it has to be ongoing. Now they do check that. They will call the office up. Before COVID, they did do site visits, so I'm not sure what they're doing now, but they will look into it, whether it's genuine or not. And I sat in a seminar with New South Wales officials recently, and they said that, you know, please don't do the wrong thing. They see a lot of fake and not genuine job offers, and that's just not okay. You know, that undermines the program. It slows down the processing, you know, so, you know, do the right things, guys. So if you meet any of those criteria, how to apply? You go over to your website. You need to attach all the documents as listed out on the website. You complete the application. You may need to pay a fee. So I've done a few now, and some RDAs need you to pay the fee up front. Some ask you to submit first and then ask you to pay later. It's around $800. So again, make sure you've already submitted your expression of interest, and then you can apply to your local RDA if you meet any of the requirements. The checklist of documents is really simple. If you've been living and working or studying or whatever in New South Wales as per the requirements, you will be able to produce the documents that they've asked for. So I think this new update to the occupation list is really positive for migration in Australia at the moment. You know, a lot of people, when COVID hit and they saw that critical sectors were the only occupations available, a lot of people were scrambling to, you know, start studying a critical sector application. Like, you know, a lot of people rushed to study nursing, and, you know, I heard that all the nursing schools were full. But when I do consult with clients, I do tell them, you know what, I would absolutely exhaust everything before I go and retrain. You know, going from accounting to nursing or whatever you choose to do, that is a huge step. You've just spent 2 years of your life doing something, 3 years of your life doing something, and now you're gonna do it all over again. I would definitely not recommend that unless it is our last option. If there is a course that is maybe 1 year, 18 months, such as community service, and, you know, it is on the skilled occupation list, then, you know, that's something I would consider and recommend to my clients. But I would never take that lightly, asking someone to make such a huge change in their life. It's more important to focus on the requirements, try and meet them. You know, everything takes time and effort. Studying takes time and effort. It costs a lot of money too. And sometimes if you put all that energy and time into finding a job, relocating to regional and meeting those requirements, I think that's a better bet than, you know, changing absolutely everything and essentially retraining. All right, guys, a very short and simple video today. I just wanted to keep everybody updated. Do go check out each individual RDA. I've left the different websites in the comments below, so go check it out. I may have missed a couple. There's just so many because New South Wales is that big. I didn't even know that. But again, thank you so much for the support. Do share my video, like and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another update to the Australian Migration Program. Bye for now.